Hello everybody, how are you? Today we complete a lot of questions about integration, definite integration part 2, okay? Look at here, in this example, we want to find the integration from -1 to 1 about this function x power 3 over x power 4 plus cosine x dx. To find the result about this integration, we must know this integration odd or even about this function. If the function odd, the result will be equal 0. If this function even, we can write the integration from 0 to 1 and the result multiplication by 2. Okay, so in this example, first we can write f of negative of x. Find f of negative x about this function. If f of negative of x equal f of x, then it will be even function. And f of negative of x, it will be equal negative f of x, it will be odd. And the result here will be equal 0 about this function. But the result, if the result here will be even, so we can write the result will be twice the integration from 0 to 1 about this function. Okay, so in this example, I will find f of negative of x about this function. Write negative x here, it will be negative x power 3 over negative x power 4, it will be x power 4. Cosine negative x, it will be cosine x. Then we can write negative outside here, x over x power 3 over x power 4 plus cosine x. This function equality about f of x. This function, we called it what? F of x. This function f of x. It will be negative f of x. Then f of negative of x, it will be negative f of x. So the result will be equal 0 about this integration. Okay, the result will be 0. Integration from -2 to -2 to 2 about x power 3 plus px plus constant depend on the constant here. Because if the constant here equals 0, this function will be odd. So the result will be 0 if this function odd, because it's -2 to 2. So this example depends on the value of c. The value of c, choose letter B. If integration from -2 to 2, f of x dx equals 0, then f of x may be what? We know this function. The result here about integration here equals 0, it's meaning this function odd. Odd, it's meaning f of negative x, it will be negative f of x. Look at letter A, it's even, because x power 2 plus 1, but f of x equal x power 2 plus 1, then f of negative x, it will be x power 2 plus 1 equal f of x even. Okay, but letter B, look at letter B, to letter 1, it's even. I want the result will be what? Will be odd, because he gives the result here equal 0. So letter B, function f of x, x. Okay, put f of negative x here, it will be negative x. Then the result will be negative f of x. So it will be what? It will be odd. So we must choose letter B about this example, because the result equals 0, it's meaning this function is odd. Where odd here? Letter B, because f of x about the sign here negative, f of negative x equal negative f of x. It means the function here odd. Derivative about this integration from 2 to 3 about this function x power 2 multiplication by square root about x power 2 plus 1 dx equal what? We know the result here will be any number. If you put this in your calculator or you're thinking about the result, you will get the number about this example, and the derivative about any number will be equal what? Equal 0. Understood? Again, this example, integration from 2 to 3, definite integration give you a number, and derivative about any number equal 0. Integration from -8 to 8 about the function dx equal. We must know this function odd or even to symbolize the result. Put f of x about this example equal 1 over square root about 1 plus absolute value about x, and f of negative x here will be 1 over square root about, it will be positive because the negative here, if we put x equal negative x, so the result will be equality about this function, then f of negative x equal f of x, so this function will be what? It will be even. Okay, what about, or what's the meaning of even? Simplest for you, the integration from negative 8 about this function, from negative 8 to 8, 1 over 1 plus absolute value of x dx, it will be equality from 0 to 8, meaning equality from 0 8 negative 8 to 0. You can write 2 outside here, 0 to 8 about this function, 1 over square root 1 plus absolute value of x dx. Okay, and we can cancel this absolute value or write the definition about absolute value about x here. We know absolute value of x, it will be positive x where x greater than or equal to 0, and equal negative x when x less than or equal to 0, x less than 0. Okay, from 0 to 8 is positive, so we must write x here. We can cancel this absolute here and write x because there is interval from 0 to 8. Okay, you can find the integration, write 2 outside here of this function, from 0 to 8, 1 plus x all power negative half dx. You can use a calculator to find the result, or eat 1 to the power and divide it by the new power. It will be right to here from 0 to 8. We can write 1 plus x power half divided by half from 0 to 8. Okay, we can cancel half by 2 here, or multiplication the inverse, 2 times 2 equal 4, sorry, write 4 here, and put 8 in 1 plus 8 equal 9, square root about 9 equal 3, subtract 1 plus 0 equal 1, 4 times 2, it will be equal 8, the result will be equal 8 about this example. Integration from negative pi to pi, 4 plus pi cosine to x. Okay, is this function odd or even? This function is even. Why? Because if we put this function f of x and we want to find this function f of negative x, right here 4 plus pi cosine to negative x, here it will be what? It will be positive because cosine can eating the negative here, so it will be equal f of x because we can cancel the sign here and write 2x. f of negative x equal f of x. This function is even. Okay, this function will be equal what? Twice integration from 0 to pi, 4 plus pi cosine to x dx, and you can integration this function, right, to outside here, 4x plus pi constant here, integration from cosine, it will be sine this function and divided by the derivative about this function here from 0 to pi. Right, 2 multiplication by 4 pi, put pi here, 2 times pi divided by 2 0, it will be 4 pi here, put by 4 pi and here will be 0, and put 0, sine 0 equal what? Right, 0 here, 0, and sine 0 equal 0, 0 and 0 equal 0. Okay, understood? Again, write pi here, 4 pi plus sine pi equal 0, sine pi equal 0, and the sine 0 equal 0. Okay, then the result will be 8 pi. Shows letter D. Integration from 0 2 pi over 2 about this function cosine power 2x dx. We can find the integration about this function by write the identity cosine power 2x dx. It's meaning half plus half cosine twice about this angle twice x, okay, dx, and the integration it will be half x plus half integration of cosine, it will be sine this angle, and divided by 2 here, derivative divided about derivative about this angle here, and the integration from 0 to pi over 2. Write 0 here, 0 and 0, 0 plus 0 equals 0, and write pi over 2 here. First write pi over 2, sorry, write pi over 2 here, it will be pi over 4, and sine 2 times pi over 2 sine pi, it will be what? It will be sine 90, it will be equal 0, equal what? Sine here, sine 180 equal 0, okay, because we can cancel 2 by 2, understood? Sine 2 times pi over 2, it's meaning sine pi, sine 180, sine 180 equals 0, 0 times force equals 0, and put 0 here, it will be 0, and here sine 0 equals 0, so the result will be pi over 4. Integration from pi over 6 to pi over 2 cosine x over sine power 2x dx. Okay, we know sine power 2, we can write it sine x dot sine x, and cosine over sine, it will be cotan. Then you can write integration by over 6 to pi over 2 cotan x dot, we have here cotan, and 1 over sine, it will be cosec dx. Integration about cosec cotan, it will be what? It will be negative cosec. We can write negative here and negative outside, because the derivative about cosec, it will be negative cosec cotan. So the integration about negative cosec cotan, it will be cosec, okay, negative cosec here, write negative here, okay, write negative, integration from pi over 6 to pi over 2 cosec x dx, and integration about this function, integration about negative cotan cosec, it will be negative cosec, okay, because we have negative outside here, understood? Okay, I will explain it again. We know the integration about this function equal cosec, because the derivative of cosec equal negative cotan cosec or negative cosec cotan, and we have negative outside. The integration determined from pi over 6 to pi over 2, okay, pi over 6 here to pi over 2, and put pi over 2 cosec pi over 2 subtract cosec pi over 2 subtract negative to negative equal positive cosec pi over 6, cosec here pi over 6, 180 divided by 6 equals 30, cosec 30 equal what? Cosec is verse about sine 30 half, it will be 2, positive 2 here, and we have here negative outside here about this sine, cosec pi over 2, it's what? Pi over 2 90, the inverse about cosec 90 sine 90 equal 1, and we have here negative outside, will be negative 1 plus 1 equal 1, so the result will be equal 1. Integration of this function from 0 to 1 x multiplication by e power x power 2 dx. Okay, we know the integration about this function. It will be what? E x power 2. We must multiplication by 2 here and divided by 2 to get the original function here. It will be x power 2. We can write half outside constant, and the function e power x power 2 behind it is the interval from 0 to 1. Because the derivative about e power x power 2, it will be ex multiplication by ex power 2. The integration about the function, it will be the same function and multiplication by derivative about the power behind it. And then we can put x equal 1 and 0 in the next step. Write half outside here, e power 1 subtract e power 0. It will be half multiplication e subtract by 1. It will be e minus 1 over 2. E minus 1 over 2. The result will be letter P. Integration here about this function. We have the interval from pi over 4 to pi over 2. We can write this function 1 over sine power 2x is the inverse about cosec power 2. Cosec power 2x multiplication by e power cotan, this function e power cotan x dx. I write 1 over this function 1 over sine power 2x, it will be cosec power 2x. We know the integration about e power cotan x, it will be what? The integration about this power cotan, it will be negative cosec power 2. Write negative here and negative outside, and the result will be here negative. We can cancel the integration here and write the function e power cotan x, and the interval from pi over 4 to pi over 2. But x equal pi over 2 here, cotan pi over 2, cotan 90. Cotan 90 equal 0, because cotan is inverse about tan 0 equal 0. Since the result here, we can write negative outside here. E power 0 equal 1. Pi over 4, it will be 1. It will be e power 1. So the result will be negative 1 plus e. It will be negative 1 plus e. It will be e minus 1. E minus 1. This is the result. E minus 1, choose letter P. Integration from 0 to pi over 6 is function sine power 4 x dx plus integration from pi over 6 to 0. We have symmetry here, interval, but we can inverse here and convert the sign here. Understood? To using the identity to find the result. Look at here the steps. I will write 0 to pi over 6 about this function sine power 4 x dx subtract the integration from 0 to pi over 6. Okay, it's pi over 6. Okay, it's pi over 6 cosine power 4x dx, and then we can write 0 to pi over 6 sine power 4x dx subtract cosine power 4x dx. Okay, I will write here negative. This function is the same step here, and we can write the factorize about this example. I will factorize them. The difference between two square root here, I will write 0 to pi over 6. I will factorize it. It will be sine power 2x plus cosine power 2x multiplication by sine power 2x subtract cosine power 2x dx. The result here equal 1. It's identity. Okay, it will be 1. Okay, it's 1. Understood? 1 multiplication by this result. Then the integration from pi 0 to pi over 6 about this function sine power 2x subtract cosine power 2x dx. We can write what? Right here inverse about them. We can write negative outside 0 from pi over 6 and the inverse cosine power 2x subtract sine power 2x. Why? Because it's identity. It's equal cosine to x. We can cancel this identity here and write cosine to x. It will be 0 from 0 to pi over 6 here. and this identity right here, cosine 2x dx, and we can find the integration about this function. I will write here, it will be negative outside. Integration about cosine, it will be sine 2x divided by 2, and write negative outside, the interval from 0 to pi over 6. Understood? Integration about cosine, it will be sine, and we have negative outside. Put pi over 6 here, it will be sine pi over 3. 180 divided by 3 equals 60. Sine 60 equal root 3 over 2. Okay, and we have a half outside. And sine 0 equals 0, cancel here. It will be negative root 3 over 4. The result will be negative root 3 over 4. Letter B. Integration from e to e power 2 dx over x equal space. It's meaning integration from e to power 2 1 over x. Numerator derivative about denominator here. Okay, so it will be integration from what we can cancel this integration. Try the result here. It will be ln absolute value about denominator. It will be ln x from e to e power 2. Put e power 2 here. It will be ln e power 2. Subtract ln e. Ln e equal 1, and ln power 2 we can drop power outside here. Drop it here. It will be 2 minus 1 equal 1. Because ln e equal 1. 1 times 2 equal 2. 2 minus 1 equal 1. The result will be equal 1. Integration from 0 to 2e about 1 over x plus e dx. You must know this number. E, it is a number. Okay, it is a number. So the integration here will be what? Will be ln absolute value about denominator, because derivative about e equals 0. And the interval here from 0 and 2e. Write ln here, 2e plus e equal 3e, subtract by ln 0 plus e equal e, ln e equal 1, and ln 3e we can write here derivative. Okay, I will write ln and 3e over e, because we have subtract between two logarithmic about the base here e. Then the result will be ln 3. It's the result, ln 3. Okay, integration from 0 to 6, 3 minus x dx. We must write the definition about this absolute value here. 3 minus x, it's equality about from 0 to 6 about x minus 3 dx. And we know if x here, this interval here equals 0, then x equals 3. So we can write the interval from 0 to 3 and from 3 to 6. And we can write the definition about this absolute value here. It will be x minus 3, where x greater than or equal to 3, or negative x plus 3, write the change the sign here, and where x less than 3. Look at here again. First, we must put this expression equal 0. 3 minus x equals 0, where x equal 3. Then you can write this interval here from 0 to 3 about this function will be positive x minus 3. Okay, from 0 to 3 we must write what? Positive or negative? Here less than, it will be negative x plus 3, where x less than 3, write negative x plus 3, negative x plus 3 dx, plus the integration from 3 to 6. 3 to 6 greater than, it will be write x minus 3 dx. Understood? Again, okay, I will explain it again. First, we must put this interval here equals 0, then x equals 3. So we must divide it, this part from 0 to 6, two parts from 0 to 3 and 3 to 6. And write the definition. absolute value about x minus 3, it will be positive. Write this expression positive here when x greater than or equal to 3, right here in this part. And this part, x less than 3, write the inverse about this interval, negative x plus 3 here in this part. Okay, and then right from 0 to 3, it will be less than 3, right? This interval, negative x plus 3, and from 3 to 6, it will be x minus 3 here. Okay, and then you can find the result about the first interval and second interval and add the result to them. The integration about this expression here, it will be what? We must add 1 to the power. I will write here the result. I complete here. Okay, it will be negative x power 2 over 2 plus 3x from 0 to 3, and here it will be x power 2 over 2 subtract 3x from 3 to 6, this part. And you can write 3 here. It will be negative 9 over 2 plus 9 plus 6 power 2, 36 divided by 2 equal, right here, 36 divided by 2 equal 18. 3 times 6 equal 18. Subtract 9 over 2 plus negative times negative equal positive. Here 3 times 3 equal 9. And here the result will be what? We can cancel them here. 9 plus 9, 18. 18 and negative 9 over 2 and negative 5 over 2 equal 9. Negative 9 cancelled by 9. The result will be equal 9. So the result will be equal 9 about this example. Okay, you can use calculator to find the result in one step about this example. Integration and the absolute value, the result will be 9. Look at this example. We want to find the integration from negative 3 to 3, absolute value about x power 2 minus 4 dx. This function is even, so we can write the result here twice, integration from 0 to 3 about absolute value x minus 4. But in this example we have the problem about absolute value. First we must put this absolute value equal, let this function x power 2 minus 4 equals 0, then x will be positive or negative 2. And we have the quadratic function here, it's power 2, and we have negative 2 and 2. And we want to find the result from 0 to 3. We want to find this function. Look at zeros here. The same about this sign, it will be positive. And here, positive, the same sign here, and it will be negative. Okay, so this interval, I want to find this interval. Okay, this interval, it will be what? 2 multiplication by the interval from 0 to 3. We can divide it in 2 solving here. This interval from 0 to 3, it's meaning interval from 0 to 2 about this function x power 2 minus 4. Okay, this function here, positive or negative? Okay, look at here, this function greater than, it will be positive about this, so I will write here x power 2 minus 4, but this function negative about this function, it will be negative x power 2 plus 4. It will be negative x power 2 plus 4. Understood? Because it's this part negative times this function, it will be inverse all term here, negative x power 2 plus 4. Okay, x power 2 plus 4 from 0 to 2 dx plus the integration from 2 to 3, this part positive x power 2 minus 4 dx. And you can find the result by the calculator or thinking here, add 1 to the power, it will be negative x power 3 divided by 2 plus 4x, the interval from 0 to 2 plus here from 2 to 3 about this function, x power 3 divided by 3 subtract 4x. and we can use a calculator to find the result. Look at this calculator. The result will be what? It will be 46 over 15.333. 46 over 3, we can write 15 and third. Integration here from 1 to 3, x minus 1 multiplication by absolute value about x minus 2 dx. We can convert this function, put x minus 2 equals 0, then x equal 2. Then you can divide it this here from 1 to 2, 1, 2 and 1 and 2 to 3. Write here this part from 1 to 3 and write 2 here. Write here positive and negative. It will be positive, it's the same sign here, positive, and here negative. It's the same about sign here, positive and negative. Positive was this function, it will be x minus 2, and the negative here, it will be negative x plus 2. And then the integration, you can write from 1 to 2 about, it will be constant here, x minus 1, don't change the sign here, but you must change the sign here, okay? From 1 to 2 about less than, it will be multiplication by negative x plus 2 dx plus the interval from 2 to 3 about x minus 1, this function, multiplication by x minus 2 here, positive. And you can find the result by using calculator. You can simplest it. The result will be equal 1 in your calculator, okay? If integration from 2 to a, 4x minus 1 dx equal 9, and a belonging to z positive, then a equal space. We can find the integration here, write 4x power 2 divided by 2 subtract by x, and the determined here from 2 to a equal 9. Put a here, it will be 4a power 2 subtract by 2 subtract by a, subtract by 2 power 2, 4 times 4, 16 divided by 2 equal 8, subtract by 2, and give us the result equal 9. It will be 2a power 2 subtract a subtract equal 9, then 2a power 2 subtract by a. Here it will be negative 15 equals 0. We can factorize them here, a times a, and write 2, and 15 here, 3 times 5, 5 here, and 3, 2 times 3 equals 6, write negative and positive, then a equal 3. Letter A. If integration from k to 3 to x dx equal 5, then k equal space. We can find the integration, write two outside coefficient between two term here, alternate to x dx from interval k to 3. It will be 2 multiplication x power 2 divided by 2 from k to 3. Here result here 5. Write 2 outside here. Multiplication by half, 3 power 2 equal 9, subtract half multiplication k power 2 equal 5, we can cancel 2 by 2, 9 minus k power 2 equal 5, then k equal positive or negative 2. Choose letter D about this question, okay? If a less than 2 less than b, and integration this absolute value determined from a to b equal 4, then a power 2 plus b power 2 over a plus b equal space. Okay, look at this determined here. He give us this information from a to b, x minus 2 dx equal 4. Put x minus 2 equals 0, then x equal 2. Then you can find the interval from a to b. Its beginning equal what? 0 plus 2, x equal 2, and x minus 2, I will write here x minus 2 or negative x plus 2, where x greater than or equal to 0. Okay, Okay, greater than or equal to 2 or x less than 2. Okay, this interval from A to B and A where A less than 2 and 2 less than B. So we can write from A to what? 2, because he tells us A less than 2 less than B. Beginning A and B and T behind it. Right, from A to 2 about the positive function, because A2 less than 2 here, negative x plus 2. Right, negative x plus 2 dx plus the interval from 2 to B. 2 to B greater than 2, it will be x minus 2 dx. He give us the result equal 4. Okay, we can write here negative x power 2 over 2 plus 2x from 82 plus interval here x power 2 divided by 2 negative 2x, interval from 2 to B, from 2 to B, give us the result equal 4. With 2 here, it will be negative 4 over 2 equal negative 2 plus 2, subtract 2 times 2 equal 4, subtract a power 2 over 2 plus 2e, let's put here b power 2 over 2, subtract 2b, subtract 4 over 2, it will be 2, negative times negative equal positive, write 2 here, it will be 4. Okay, so the result will be half b power 2 and negative 2b plus 2, the result will be equal 4. We can cancel 4 by 4 and simplest it. 4 minus 2 equal 2, minus 2 we can cancel them, then negative a power 2 plus 2 plus 2a plus b power 2 over 2, subtract 2b equals 0, multiplication by 2, then negative a power 2 here plus b power 2 plus 4a, subtract 4b equals 0. We can move the here 4a and 4p and a power 2 negative times this expression to be negative and negative, negative a power 2 minus 4a minus 4b, then we can change the sign here. It was negative times negative or expression. To change the sign, negative 2, it will be a power 2 plus b power 2, then a power 2 plus b power 2 here will be equal times by 2 by all term, it will be 4 a, moving it left hand side here, plus 4b, and we can write 4 height common factor between them, then a power 2 plus b power 2 equal 4 multiplication a plus b, then a power 2 plus b power 2 over a plus b equal 4. Okay, so the result will be what? Equal 4. Understood? Question 35. If integration from len b to len a about this function e power x dx equal 2 and b power 2 subtract and a power 2 subtract b power 2 equal 12. We can factorize it, this expression, a subtract b, multiplication by a plus b equal 12. And we can find integration about this function. It will be the same function here and the interval from len b to len a. We can write e power len b in the first len a, subtract e power len b equal 2. Okay, it's the difference between two function here, e power len a subtract e power len b equal 2. and we know a minus b multiplication of a plus b equal 12. Who can tell me the result here? We know this result will be a, and this result will be b. A power ln a, it will be a, and the a power ln b equal b. A minus b equal 2. And he give us this information. Then a plus b equal what? 2 multiplication by 6 equal 12. Then a plus b equal 6. We can add two equation here and cancel negative b, a positive b. Then 2a equal 8. Then a will be 8 divided by 2 equal 4. Then a equal 4. Shows letter C.